Welcome to EVE Online. I'm Major Freak. So earlier I was talking about a retriever, using a retriever in low sec if you really wanted to use a barge. And I was thinking about it a bit. I'm like, you know, the cycle time is if you're using less than three clients or three or less. And I said, hey, just use ventures, but if you really want to use barges, go with the retriever. I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute. The thing I set up was for an align time. How long does it take to travel the entire length of that until you're outside of the range of your strip miner, right? So, how much range do you get? How much time do you get on field? By the time you exit the field, you've probably stripped all the kernite in the belt. It's not much. It's never much. That's a normal asteroid belt, right? So by the time you finish that run, you've probably completely stripped that belt. And how much cubic meters is in your hold? Do you really need a retriever's worth of ore, right? So I'm like, why not just go with a Procurer? Stay aligned. You'll be well tanked. You could go with some more greed stuff, maybe. Well, we're going to check it out. So I'm going to save the state here, and we're going to open this up, derp, and we're going to get a Procurer. Okay, Procurer. Now, this is simply that I'm just thinking, well, this is to tank the rats, like the clone soldier, you'll be able to tank a bit, and the Sench Lord, you'll be able to tank a bit more, right? So we will bring up. Yeah, this is my favorite, of course. Okay, so we got thermal, defense, extender. Okay, so we're going to keep all this because these are cheap. We're going to, well, remove this. You're not going to engage in anything crazy. Why did I have medium? Can't I fit a large? God, I hope I'm not embarrassing myself here. Come on, be large. Can I not fit a large? Am I actually being an idiot? That'd be freaking hilarious. Can I fit a large? And fit. Okay, good. I'm thinking, gee, I got a lot of power there. All right, good. All right. just checking. Wait, did I drop a few dozen IQ points? Yeah, don't have much. Okay. Wow. Okay, so we'll drop that. We'll put in a resist module. Against for rats. This is not for PvP. If something catches you, and yeah, you're just going to be dead if you don't have enough. And besides, like, I used to die a lot in faction warfare space. I killed a few people, but mostly I died a lot. And I would go down fighting and I would take people with me, and I'd be able to get some of my guys away. But mostly I died a lot. And these are faction warfare people who didn't really pay much attention to me. They're like, oh, content, you know. But if you're in, like, say, Ruchi or Rarath or any other low sec area where there's rabid gankers about at high sec entrance zones, they're going to take a little bit more time to gang up on you. Because, you know, the nature of warfare. I mean, why would you have a fair fight when you don't have to, right? It's tactic. What are tactics and strategy then? If you don't want to get a leg up on somebody. So they just come in with Logi. And if they came in with Logi, I could kill the Logi. By the time I kill the Logi with drones, and it could be outside of my range, I would be dead. Like I could put drone control range stuff in here and just paste that Logi, but I wouldn't be able to point it, and it would warp away. And if it warped away, it did the job of drawing DPS, and I'd probably lose a ship by then, and another ship, and then I die. And then he just warp back a minute later, right? But it's difficult to stand and fight when you've got a dedicated multi-boxing PvP freak on your hands, right? Okay, you stand no chance. So in that instance, I would not stand and fight somebody like that. I would stand and fight a random PvP roamer who obviously looks like a noob and isn't a trap or bait. And you're like, does that look like bait? And then you fight it, or otherwise you just flee the field. And yeah, but yeah, there's no way I'd be able to go, haha, I'm just gonna mine with my mining team that I usually do, and stand my ground, because it wouldn't work. And in you guys' cases, if you've got 3 or less accounts, then you've got less hope of killing anything. So we're just not going to go gank mode. And we're going to go flight mode. So, oh, right. And we'll need a Higgs rig. So thermal extender. How much does... We're going to get rid of that. Because it's more expensive. We're going to get rid of it. We're going to add a Higgs rig. So we've got 39. We've got basic EM2. That looks good. Let's see. No, that looks good. I'd like one here in EM there. But that's good. And I got damage control 2, which is good. And we'll just get rid of those. And we'll put in greed stuff. There's no need to... yeah, we'll put in infiltrators. You might have a hope in hell of jamming a PvPer. A hope in hell. So we'll add in that. We'll get Infiltrator 1s, because if you're on the field fighting a rat and a PvPer shows up, you want to warp. And why leave Tech 2 Infiltrators when you can leave Tech 1? And you're either gonna kill that. Well, what's the DPS difference? Like literally, what is the DPS difference between having Tech 2 and having to one? And you're obviously Omega, and you're obviously a miner, so you're gonna train up, all that drone skills. So what's the difference? 157 versus 157. So that's 30% extra DPS. Screw it. All right, and we'll put in Tech 2 ECM drones. Oh wait, F you CCP. So yeah, Hornets will, yeah, it's not going to cut the mustard at all whatsoever. your chances before you die, before you start getting bumped. Yeah. Good luck. Maybe against the amateur, but yeah. Yeah, roll the dice. Well, yeah. Might as well, right? Herb. And so we need a Higgs rig. 100%. Do. Burp. How much are they? Wow. A small Higgs. Oh, wait. Is this small? Never mind. I'm talking outside of my mouth. Okay. All right. Looking good. Looking good. And a lot of HP. Yeah, okay. And DPS to go with it. Hit points, no bonus to range, but drone damage and hit points. Okay. Cool. All right, let's go with harvest equipment, mining upgrades. We'll go with mining laser, 2 of them. Okay. And that means what? 6.8. So we have 6.8, 15-kilometer range. And I think you only get a range advantage on the Coveter, right? Not sure. So we're going to save state. We're going to go back to the retriever. What do you give us? What do we got here? Ore hold capacity, right. Strip miner yield. Okay. 10% strip miner yield. Okay. So we get half the HP. And it's not... The point is, you're going to die if you get tackled by a PvPer. So you're going to die. Is this enough to deal with essential ore and or, hopefully, without having warp off and get a destroyer to deal with it, and the best you can get with a DPS destroyer is 200 DPS anyways. The best, and you have to bling it out a bit for an alpha character, right? So, oh wait, we're not alpha character, we're talking omega. Sorry, I've been doing alpha videos for so long this week. Only this week, crazy, huh? I know. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna spy on my enemies. Why don't I make it educational? Lol. And I'm a lousy spy anyways. And just, hi, I'm here to look at you. You probably know who I am, but I don't care. La la. Alright, yeah, if this can survive... Yeah, I mean, it's all about, can you survive the harder low-sec rats? Because otherwise it doesn't matter worth a fig, right? Okay, so we got 2% increase, 3% for the other one, but with the greed tank here, we've got 6.8 and 6.6. Okay, so they're roughly the same. Same range of the lasers, but it's a kilometer less than the Gaussian. At 3 times as much per, so that's pretty great, but of course the range is less. So you'd have to take that into account when making your bookmarks. And since you're going at 31, you better take it into account. Let's see, 31, and I think the same, 39. So this you're going even slower, so more time on field at full thrust. Yay, that's pretty cool. You're like, why don't you go 75? It's freaking, you're going 31. Shut up. You're gonna strip the belt. Like, it takes, the average distance is 35 kilometers divided by 31.3 meters per second. That means that takes that many seconds to transit an average belt And that's... The hell? That's impossible. Give me a sec. I suck at math. Okay, so 35 kilometers divided by 31.3 meters of that. So that's that. So meters divided in meters equals seconds. That's how many seconds. Divided by 60 equals, yeah, 18 minutes on field? Son of a... Okay, 18 times... Okay, wait. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So you get 6 cycles. Jesus. 6 freaking cycles. It's crazy. Times 2450, because you got 2 in there, right? 2450. And you won't get it all, because at some point you're going to waste about 2 minutes of your time. And we're not getting an ore scanner, because that's... You don't want to spend too much time clicking a button and looking at something when you're not looking at local. So you can get 1470. Okay. Right. Does it tell me the size of the ore hold? I don't get bonus to it, so I might as well just look it up. And the ore hold, mining hold is, okay. So yeah, theoretically, by the time you transit a belt in a Procurer, you're going to be full and you're going to want to dock. Well, you're not going to be full. You're probably going to be half full. There's no way you're going to get efficiency out of a mining barge, especially in an asteroid belt. So you've got, yeah, oof. Yeah, it just, you know, it's just freaking train for expedition frigates, for Christ's sake. If you really want to do freaking asteroid belts, get expedition frigates. This is good, but why take the hit in efficiency or the increase in micromanagement, which lowers your PvP efficiency of reacting? Like, if you're busy clicking buttons and watching and calculating and figure out when, and yeah, I think you got a program to do that too. I think third-party mining program, and it'll let you know when you need to switch targets if you use ore scanner and yada yada. It might help you look local, and you can go for it for sure. That'll solve your problem. I never did that. It took me way too much out of the game. It wasn't very immersive. I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't feel like much fun. But yeah, that's just me. So yeah, fill your boots with that. And yeah, that makes sense, right? I mean, why have a retriever's hold worth by the time you transit an average belt? You could have just filled up a Procurer for the same amount of stuff. I mean, you could greed fit the retriever. Can a retriever survive? Can the retriever survive with a greed fit, right? Can it deal with... I might as well, like, put in Tech 2 infiltrators, right? Might as well. And there you go. So, okay, not as much, but you'll need 200 to deal with Satchel Lords and the Clone Soldier. You might be able to get away with it with that, but it's going to take a while to kill it. But you got time on grid. Can you survive that long? You're not. You're so not gonna. It's not gonna work. And you've got a large hold that you don't need. Right? So yeah, if you're really dead set and going with barges, I guess the logical path to take would be a semi-agreed fit Procurer. And that's a lot of DPS. That's enough to deal with it quite handily. And yeah, offense the best defense when it comes to rats here. And you've good, that's a lot of defense too, by default. Is there any way to improve this? Like, I've got Hope in Hell Vespas. I've got Infiltrator IIs. You got the Higgs rig to keep you on field a while. You go on full speed at 31. Which if... You, you got to Hope in Hell. Like, they will decloak, and if they're smart, they're going to be bumping you. And all they do is have to nudge you. So if they decloak and coming straight at you at high speed already, all I have to do is like little rippity tap, even with a stealth bomber. Boop. Boopity boop. And it doesn't matter. You're dead. But yeah, if you're smart and you've got that split second, and you better like be doing nothing but like get that space bar on. Well, they mostly get you with cloakies, so you don't even need that. You might see combat pros, but all in all, it's not going to take much to creep up on you if you're going that slow. So it's like you might as well the entire freaking time. You're not going to be using your ore scanner. You won't have your. Yeah, well, I guess you could, but you better have your. You best have not only. You should just go the entire belt. Don't even have an ore scanner. Just right click that warp to combat dock, because you better not warp to the station, because you'll probably land short and you'll die. Well, yeah, you'll die. So just spend the entire time with the right click option open to warp, and just hover your cursor over that warp, and as soon as that thing you see a hostile, just go warp, and you're into warp before he can bump you, and bam, done. Yeah, that's just. They could do loop-a-loops with you around you cloaked. So yeah, just don't. Yeah, don't use the ore scanner. And if you do and you whine to me, well, it's not my lookout. Have a good one, guys. Yeah, just play it smart. Do it right. Yeah, that should do it. No Sec Barge. Better than in Retriever. Yeah, but what's the whole cost? It's cheaper, right? Save for corporation. How much is it? Oh, okay, the same price. All right, fair enough. Yeah, looking good. I'll post that fit. Yeah, no, don't even think of having a Procurer in the belt, given boosts. It won't be able to warp to dock and then dock up. It's got combat bursts going on. I just don't. It's just not worth it. To me, a porpoise is for if you're going to stand and fight against a small bit PvPer. And if I see, say, somebody like the locals show up, log in, I'll try to mine when they're asleep if I can have because normally gankers love to be playing around 1800 peak hours. That's when their victims are around, right? And I typically play on the off hours, thankfully, but you guys might not. So yeah, I mean, if you want to do this in a low sec area, that's not a gateway to high sec, and find a off the beaten path, yeah, by all means, set up shop and stand and fight. I personally would, if you want to have fun, mine in faction warfare space, and you'll have lots of great content that isn't crazy suicidal, right? Otherwise, yeah, off the beaten path, set up your team, and yeah, yeah, go with go with like one has a web, one has a scram, one has a long point, and anything else, add another web to slow it right down. You've got it scrammed, you got it pointed. Web the hell out of it, double web it, triple web it. Just like long point, preferably scram, long point, web, and that long point is just if it gets out of the range of your scram, at least you've got it prevented from warping for a few more seconds. Hopefully kill it. But yeah, that's how you do it. Stand and fight. And most people are lazy. They'll warp to zero, not move, think you're dead, and and think they can warp away if there's any trouble. And sorry, denied. But yeah, that's the fun of it. But if the locals show up, just freaking dock. Because it doesn't make sense to stand and fight. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, I totally recommend this fit if you want to. Like in the porpoise combat. Oh yeah, just check my corporation's lost mails. You'll see my porpoises and barges doing a valiant last stand. I got videos up about that too. It's so much fun. But yeah, why stand and fight against people who will bring logi and stuff, and yeah, it's just not going to work for you at all. Yeah, it's just knowing when to fight and have fun, and what's a trap, and don't expect a fair fight. Why should you? I mean, anybody who jumps on you that is small time is gonna expect a cakewalk, and you're gonna walk all over them. So that's not a fair fight, is it? So yeah. Yes, I've been told my laugh is a little evil. Anyways, have a good day. Bye.